Hi there guys, I'm Nikhil from GreedyTech, and in this video I'll be unboxing the Vivo V15 Pro. So guys, here's the box, and this is the Vivo V15 Pro in the topaz blue color, and box looks kind of similar to all the previous Vivo phones that we have unboxed and probably slightly bigger. So this is how the box looks. On the front we have a quick preview of how the phone looks like with its new triple camera setup on the rear and the pop-up selfie camera on the front. Now this phone packs in a lot of cool things and a lot of improvements from the Vivo V11 Pro, like this elevating or pop-up camera, triple camera setup, a newer 5th generation in-display fingerprint scanner, and a lot more stuff. So let's unbox it and see what this phone has to offer. By the way guys, on the back it simply highlights some of the most highlighting features like the in-display fingerprint scanner, triple camera setup, and so on, which I'll be covering in a minute. By the way, this is a made in India phone and we have other information as well. So let me just break the seal. By the way guys, this phone is available only in one variant, priced at 29,000 rupees for 6GB of RAM and 128GB of storage. It's available both online and offline at the same price, and it's available in two colors, topaz blue and ruby red. And we have the blue color with us right now. So guys, first we have a cardboard box which probably has a free case and documentation. And this time, okay wait. So here's the free SIM card ejector and followed by documentation, important warranty information, quick start guide. Following that is this pretty awesome looking case. So this is probably one of the most premium cases I've seen that we get free inside a box after Vivo Nex. So I'll come back to it in a minute. Let's see what else we get inside the box. So this is the topaz blue color and so far looks awesome. Next we have some IMEI number stickers and the cardboard box. Next we have the fast charger, which Vivo likes to call the dual engine fast charger or fast charging, with a maximum output of 18 watts. Following that is a regular micro USB charging cable. It's still not Type-C, a bit disappointing considering the price. Next we have some old style earphones. And these are all the contents of the box. Now let's just put everything aside and come back to the phone. Now this is the phone in the plastic wrapping, and on the front we have some basic information and information about the fingerprint scanner, where it is, and on the back it has information about SIM card trays, where they are and how to insert them. Also we have the IMEI numbers once again. So let me just open it up. So guys, this is how the phone looks on the front, pretty much like any other phone, completely a blank slate. And this is how it looks on the back, and it's really awesome. I just have one word for that, awesome, that's it. So here we have the camera module with the triple camera setup with dual LED flash, and this is the topaz blue color with a two-tone gradient finish, and as I've said earlier, it looks awesome. Now this is a free case that we get inside the box, so let me just put it on and see how good it is, and it fits pretty easily. So guys, this is how the phone looks with the free case on, and case build quality is really top notch. It has this rubber padding all around, cutouts for all the ports. It even has this small flap for some additional water resistance. At the top for the camera module, it has a raised lip, in fact a pretty big raised lip, so even if you drop your phone on its back, it's not gonna scratch the camera. So camera module or the entire camera module is very well protected. Even the front display has a slight raised lip to it, so even if you place your phone directly on a flat surface, it's not going to touch the display and it's going to be protected. Now at the top it has a big cutout for the pop-up camera or the elevating camera, so that's another good thing. Now coming to the buttons, now with the case on, these buttons are slightly hard to press, but it's still usable. So guys, that was the case. Now let's have a quick physical overview and then check out the specs. On the back, this phone has a plastic back panel which is transparent with this multicolored film, which just looks awesome once again. At the top it has a camera module. It says AI triple camera followed by the triple camera setup. At the bottom it has a 48 megapixel primary camera with f1.8 aperture. That's followed by a 5 megapixel secondary camera with f2.4 aperture for depth sensing, that's to take portrait shots. Following that is a flash and an 8 megapixel ultra wide angle camera with 120-degree field of view and f2.2 aperture. At the bottom it has just the Vivo branding. On the whole, back looks pretty clean and it is definitely a very new design from Vivo. Now the camera bump on this phone is definitely much larger than the previous phones, but on a flat surface, especially while typing, phone doesn't wobble a lot. especially without a case. On the whole, back of the phone looks pretty refreshing, pretty clean, and definitely a great new design from Vivo. Now coming to the front, it has a massive 6.39-inch ultra full view display with an AMOLED panel with Full HD Plus resolution with the new 19.5:9 aspect ratio, which gives it 91.68% screen to body ratio, which is like massive, and it's much larger than the latest Samsung S10 Plus. So display on this phone is gonna look awesome, and the bezels all around are also pretty small. Above the display, it has an earpiece along with a pop-up camera module with a 32 megapixel front-facing camera with f2.0 aperture. At the bottom, it is completely plain. Now coming to the sides, on the right side we have the power and volume buttons made of plastic, I guess. They have a nice clicky feel to it, but I wish they were slightly more elevated. Now on the left side we get a dedicated button for Google Assistant. Following that is a SIM card tray housing a dedicated SD card slot. At the top, it has a secondary microphone for noise cancellation, 3.5mm audio jack, and the cutout for the pop-up camera. Now finally, at the bottom, it has the SIM card tray housing 2 nano SIM slots. Following that is a primary microphone, micro USB charging port, and the mono speaker. Now coming to the rest of the specifications, this phone sports a Snapdragon 675 processor with Adreno 612 GPU with 6GB of RAM and 128GB of storage. It will be running a custom skinned version of Android called FunTouchOS by Vivo, based on Android 9.0, that's Android Pie. Now powering all this is a 3700 mAh battery. It also supports fast charging and comes with a dual engine fast charger inside the box. Now with all this packed in together, this phone has a thickness of 8.2 mm and weighs 185 grams. Now right out of the box, just from initial impressions, I can say weight distribution has been done really well on this phone. Like I've seen many phones from Xiaomi which weigh about 180-182 grams and they feel quite heavy, but this phone feels pretty light even though this phone weighs about 185 grams. So that's a pretty great thing. So guys, now let's turn on the phone and see what we get right out of the box. So we get all these Indian languages right out of the box and you can select any one of them. I'll just go with English. Then select the country, that's India. Let's just skip ahead. Right out of the box, battery percentage is pretty low. That's the lowest I've seen so far. Now it's time to register the fingerprint. Okay, first is face unlock. Now it's done. Now I'll be registering the fingerprint. So you have to touch and hold it for it to register. Now it's done. So guys, now the phone is turned on and this is the default home screen that we get right out of the box, and this is Smart Assistant, which is just a place for your widgets, and this is your default launcher, default home screen, and as usual there is no app drawer, so all the apps are thrown to the home screen. Now let's check the about page. So guys, this phone is running FunTouchOS version 9 based on Android 9.0, that's Android Pie, with the January security patch. So here's the security patch information. Now let's check the storage information. So right out of the box, out of that 6GB of RAM, we get about 6.3GB of free RAM right out of the box. Now coming to storage, out of that 128GB of space, we get about 113GB of space for our user apps and user data, which is definitely more than sufficient for your games and all your media content. Now let's check out those awesome looking cameras. So this phone has a triple camera setup, a regular wide angle camera, secondary camera for depth sensing, that's to take portrait shots, and a wide angle camera. So guys, this is the new camera interface for the rear camera, and there's just one toggle over here to switch between the primary camera and the wide angle camera. So let me just take a picture. This is the regular camera. Now once you click it, it'll switch to the wide angle camera with 120-degree field of view. This is the regular picture from the wide angle camera, and this is the ultra wide angle picture. Just like all the previous Vivo phones, we can swipe left or right to switch between the different modes, and in video recording, we also have slow motion and time lapse. And from settings, we can change the video resolution. This phone supports 1080p at 60 fps. We can also record video in 4K, but only at 24 frames per second. So 4K at 60 fps is not available on this phone. And as you can see, the sensor is being cropped, so it might be offering some kind of stabilization. Right now we are using the primary camera, which is the bottom one, and to switch to the wide angle camera, we have a toggle over here and it switches to the wide angle camera. That's at the top. Now the footage looks much wider than the regular camera. Now besides that, we have the regular AR stickers, which simply adds these funny stickers to your face. So there you go. Now this is the interface for the front facing camera. That's the same interface we have been seeing for a long time with some changes. So let's see how quick this camera pops up. Now I'm going to switch to the front camera and it's pretty much instantaneous. It takes less than half a second and it's definitely more than sufficient for regular usage. Going on next, we have the regular AI beauty mode, night mode. That's for the rear camera. And let's switch to the front camera once again. Using the front camera, we can record video at a maximum of 1080p. That's the maximum resolution. Now to take a portrait shot using the rear camera, you need to select this toggle over here. And now you can take portrait shots. At the bottom, we also have 3D lighting effects, just like the iPhones. And you get all this stuff. And on this phone, we can actually change the amount of background blur effect you want after taking a picture. That's called live focus mode or refocus on Vivo. Similarly, if you want to take portrait selfies, you need to select this toggle. And once again, we have all these 3D lighting effects. That's natural light, next we have studio light, and so on. So guys, that was the camera interface, and these are some sample pictures. Now let's test the speaker loudness. Hi there guys, I'm Nikhil from GreedyTech and this is the unboxing of the Samsung Galaxy S10 Plus. So guys, this is the box and this is the latest and greatest from Samsung for the first half of. So guys, speaker on this phone is sufficiently loud for media consumption, ringtones and alarms. It is definitely not the loudest one I've heard, but it is sufficiently loud for regular usage. Now let's test the face unlock feature first. Now Vivo Nex, which also came with the pop-up camera first, doesn't have face unlock feature, but this phone for some reason has it. So let's check out the face unlock settings. So we get two options. One is to use face unlock whenever we press the power button or whenever you swipe up the lock screen. First, let's test it with the power button. Now the phone is locked and when I press the power button, front camera instantly pops up, sees my face and unlocks the phone. Here's the preview. And as you can see, it is instantaneous, just like it has a regular front facing camera. And it's super fast. And according to Vivo's testing, this pop-up camera can slide up and down almost 300,000 times. Now the next option is to use face unlock only when we swipe up the lock screen. So let's select that option and give it a try. Now the phone is locked. This is the lock screen. When I swipe up, that's how the phone unlocks now, and it's still pretty fast. So for some reason, if you don't want to use the fingerprint scanner, you can just do that to use the face unlock feature. Now let's test in low lighting conditions. And it still works pretty quickly, even in very low lighting conditions. So guys, just like all the previous Vivo phones, face unlock is pretty fast even on this phone. Now let's test the fingerprint scanner. Now the phone is completely locked. You get a small preview of where the fingerprint scanner is. Just place your finger over there for it to unlock. Okay, let's give it another try. This fingerprint scanner is pretty fast, like faster than all the previous phones I've tested with an in-display fingerprint scanner. Definitely faster than the Vivo V11 Pro and definitely faster than the OnePlus 6T as well. So this is a bit annoying, so let me just enable always on display. Now this is the always on display. Okay, it doesn't show up. Guys, currently phone has just 2% of battery left, 1% of battery left. That's why probably always on display is not working. But as I've shown you, fingerprint scanner is working very quickly. The fastest in-display fingerprint scanner I've seen so far. And it works pretty well and definitely faster than the Samsung S10 Plus. Way faster. Now before I conclude, these are the Antutu and Geekbench scores. So guys, this is the new Vivo V15 Pro, and in each and every way it has raised beyond my expectation. Whether it's just this free case or the new looks or the cameras or the performance of the fingerprint scanner, I'm really blown away with this phone. It is a bit pricey, but if you're looking to buy a phone in the retail market around 30,000 rupees with all the latest and greatest features, then this is definitely a great choice to consider. So guys, what do you think about this phone? Do let us know by commenting below this video, and if you're planning to buy this phone, please use the link in the description. It always helps the channel, and if you want us to make any specific video, tweet out to us with the hashtag #AskGreedyTech on Twitter and we will try to make it as soon as possible. I'm Nikhil from GreedyTech signing off. Have a nice day.